GPU Showdown, the best gaming GPU for the dollar. Solutions here, bringing you guys something else that I have been watching very closely. And Linus Media Group on Linus Tech Tips on the YouTube channel has been doing GPU showdowns pretty much at 4 different price points. About $100, about $200. Actually, I think 200 margin is a little bit over that. It's about 300 and about 400. This is how much money you have to spend. You have no biased opinions. You don't need PhysX because you don't like it. You don't need CUDA because the programs you also use OpenGL. You want the best game performance you can get. Now, they did a test on a platform. I think it used an i7-3930K overclocked to 4 GHz, which is actually not quite as strong as an i7-3770 overclock because the higher base clock, better overclocking, better game performance. But they did it on 7 different games. We're going to start with Far Cry 3. We're going to go down the list as fast as we can so the video's not too long for you guys. And we're going to see who wins this battle, who has the best video card for the dollar. So without further ado, we got Far Cry 3. The 7770 was priced at $122.99 at the NCIX store. And the GTX 650 was priced at $114.99 at the time that they were doing it. So the HD 7770 came out quite a bit ahead. I mean, we're talking 50% ahead, if not actually a little more. It looks to be about 55-60% ahead of the GTX 650. Clear win for AMD. Now we have the GTX 660, which is priced at about $209, and the HD 7870, which is, I believe, priced about $224.99. And again, AMD is just winning. We're talking about 40 frame rates to about 53, which is about 13 frame rate differential there, and we're talking 20-30% increase once again. Now, this one was actually a little closer than I thought it was going to be, and it's probably because of the way Far Cry 3 is, but I believe the GTX 660 Ti was a cheaper one of the bunch, and there was only about a 10, maybe upwards close to 15% advantage to the 7950. So that was Far Cry 3. Now, moving on to Starcraft 2, I want to let you guys know that all these video cards are clocked to about what the standard consumer grade enthusiasts are overclocking their cards without severely overvolting them and stuff like that. Starcraft 2, this was an interesting test if I remember correctly. The HD 7770, clear winner, almost 100% over it. Nothing more needs to be said. And yes, if I remember correctly, the Radeon pretty much AMD wins this one hands down. Again, the HD 7870 wins hands down. HD 7950 still a decent winner. We're talking 6-7 frame rates, 10%. The 7970 just takes away with the GTX 670, 10-15%. And what's interesting is if you go back all the way up to the top, the 7770 posted 67.48 frame rates, which is actually higher than 7870, and it outperforms the 670. So clearly there's an issue in that testing. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but it is noted. Crysis 3, the big title, well, at the time, Metro Last Light now holds that recognition. So let's look here. Okay, so he's going to show you the on this one the methodology of the testing, so you can stop the video and look at how they do it head to head again. So Crysis 3 slight win on AMD. I think, yeah, for this one I believe they had to turn off AA just for this test because very high with high AA you need SLI Crossfire or like a high-end card like a Titan or dual GPU to run that. So not really playable in my opinion because this is average frame rates, not minimum. So you're probably going to want to turn it down to like medium high. You'll probably get good frame rate. Next we have the GTX 660, which about at the roughly $200 price point. I'd have to give us a tie. I mean, they're very close. Nvidia's a little cheaper, so clearly a little bit better price performance here. This one, slight edge to AMD, again too close to really say anything outside of margin of error. So I think a lot of this has to do with just drivers may not have been optimized at the time. In fact, I'll be able to tell you here in a second. Well, no, 13.2, that is a newer driver, so I mean, drivers are relatively optimized. And this is the only real difference is the $400 challenge. The 7970 with the fast clock speeds, the 3 gig of VRAM seems to definitely have an advantage here. So I actually want to make a correction. It looks like they turned AA off for all of them, so I do want to apologize for that. But here is the final chart they used. Like I said, the only big outlier here is actually the 670 seems to have an issue here, so that could be a benchmarking error or an error with the card or error with the driver itself. So next we move on to Battlefield 3, another relatively big title. I personally love the game. I can't wait for Battlefield 4 to come out, to be honest. Again, same methodology for the testing. They're actually using the 3960X, not 3930K, so I do apologize there. Here is the price point breakdown for each card, roughly the same still. So 7770, I think, is a relatively clear winner here. I think that they, we're looking at 10 maybe 15% difference, so we'll give it to AMD on that. 7870, again, clear difference, about 10-15% again. So we move on to 7950, almost 15% difference here. So AMD's pretty much winning across the board here, 10 to 15% on Battlefield 3. So definitely where it goes to AMD on this one. And here is the final chart for everything. So it looks like the 7950, which is a card that I have, seems to be a very good value. It's beating the 670, which is more expensive, the 660 Ti, which in some cases is also more expensive. So I do like my Vapor X, I must say. Moving on to BioShock Infinite, brand new title here. Oop. I do apologize about that. Oh, it looks like it's not going to give me the actual benchmarking here. They have the wrong link there, so I do apologize for that. Let's go on to Tomb Raider. Download this real quick for you guys. As you can see, I don't go through stuff before I actually do the actual videos in themselves. So again, testing methodology, drivers. It looks like they're actually using a newer driver because there's no driver for NVIDIA at the time. Here's your price points. It seems at the time the price points went up a little bit. Interesting. 7770, clear winner. We're talking 30% right here. So okay. Here is what I was looking for. So normal. Oh, sorry. Uploading video right now. Apologize. With TressFX on, both them tank. GTX 650 does not perform at all. Does not even perform enough to make it a good choice, let alone the 7770. 7770 gains what, 400% with just normal hair turned on, so that's interesting. 7870, relatively clear winner here, 10-15% over 660. TressFX hair is turned on for the rest of these benchmarks. 7950, again, clear winner, 10-15% gain. Slightly closer, but still about a 10% margin here as well with the 7970 over the 670. And here's the final graph. Again, the 7950 is looking like a good value for the price, which is probably why a lot of people recommend that card. So, last but not least, we have Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Not a game that I've played yet, but I'm interested in it. Tested methodology, newer drivers for it. Price points changed slightly here, so do note that. Notably the 7950, which I think that's the price a little higher for 7950, but regardless. 7770, clear winner. We're talking 8 frame rates per second, almost 30%, 25-30%. So 7870, again, clear winner. 10 frame rates, 20% right here. 7950 still look like a good value. It's a little closer here. It's only about 10%. So, keep that in mind when making a choice towards a higher end card. And 7970 has a lot larger margin of victory here, posting probably around 20%, give or take. And there is no final. So, what does this all come down to? Well, clearly AMD has a very good grab on the video gaming market. Yes, a lot of these games are given away with AMD. Very smart move on their end. You get a high tier card, 7950, 7970. You're getting 4 free games. They're not crappy games. They are good games. You're getting things like Tomb Raider, BioShock Infinite, Crysis 3, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon. When Battlefield 4 comes out, you're going to get that. Metro Last Life does come with a lot of NVIDIA cards, but you're getting good value for the dollar. NVIDIA does have the 700 series coming out, it may change the game up a little bit, but AMD's known for being very aggressive on their pricing. That's very, very important to remember. So that may also say, hey, we're AMD, we're going to lower our prices even more. So, AMD seems to be the clear winner for price versus performance, and I would have to recommend it to anybody that's looking for a video card, as long as the following things matter. You're okay with doing some overclocking. Power consumption is not a big deal, because NVIDIA does have better power consumption. They don't run Kohler, because most NVIDIA cards seem to be reference designs, and those are blower style, and if your case has adequate airflow, you're going to want an open Kohler design. Amazing airflow, you may want a blower style fan, but as a whole, like my Vapor X with mild overclocks, it is a open design concept with, has aluminum heatsink, it has copper heat pipes, it has dual 90mm fans, it has a vapor chamber, even running like 3D Mark 2013 with a 1400 overclock on the core and the memory. I only hit 55 degrees centigrade. So as a whole, I think AMD has more custom designs, custom PCBs, custom Kohlers. They run Kohler. They may be a little louder. So yeah, NVIDIA is better on power consumption as a whole, and is quieter. So that would be a reason to go. So, and if you're really big on physics, that might be another good reason to go NVIDIA. So either way, my vote is AMD, but you guys have all the information now in front of you, make your decision. Hopefully this video has helped you make that decision, and if you guys would like, you guys can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like the video, head over to this website right here, linustechtips.com, subscribe and join the community. Great community, good information. It's where I get a lot of my info from. Subscribe to Linus Tech Tips YouTube channel, Linus Media Group, good people. That's where all the information that I get from this specific benchmarking came from them, so I want to give them full credit. So thank you guys, as always. You guys, once again, I want to thank Linus Media Group for all your hard work, and all the information was pulled from their testing.